we've said many times, quality control is a vital part of the Buick design and production process. The vast majority of the cars assembled at Buick City and other assembly plants pass all of the numerous tests and inspections that are performed on every vehicle. And of course, when any problems are found, factory technicians make the necessary repairs before the cars are shipped. The efforts of the assembly plant line workers, the inspectors, engineers, and technicians are evident in the quality that's found in today's Buicks. Unfortunately, squeaks and rattle conditions, such as we'll be describing in this program, don't always show up when the car first rolls off the assembly line. Hi, I'm Chuck McLennan. In this Buick Know-How, we'll continue to bring you some service tips from the experts who build the Park Avenue and LeSabre models at the Buick City Assembly Plant in Flint, Michigan. As I'm sure you're aware, squeak and rattle complaints most often don't appear until a car has accumulated some real-world mileage under a variety of driving and weather conditions. Traditionally, the way to test for potential squeaks and rattles has been to drive the new model pilot cars for many miles around test tracks like these at the General Motors Proving Grounds in Milford, Michigan. However, the lab at the Buick City Assembly Plant now incorporates state-of-the-art road simulation equipment that can virtually bring all of the Milford test tracks right into the plant. The test car is driven onto 4 pads mounted in the floor. The pads independently support each wheel. Using a remote controller, the operator can select from a variety of dynamic tests that can simulate exactly the twists and curves as well as the various surfaces of the proving ground tracks. The equipment can also vibrate the car over a selected frequency range, measured in hertz. If any squeaks or rattles develop as the machine sweeps through the selected range, the operator can zero in on the particular frequency that causes the noise to appear. Because tests are performed with the engine off and the wheels not rolling, the operator can pinpoint the source of a squeak or rattle without the distraction of engine, road, and wheel noises that occur during test track driving. Also, the tester can exit and thoroughly examine the entire vehicle, including the underbody, while the road simulation test is in progress. This technology allows plant engineers and technicians to uncover problems that might otherwise take weeks or even months to appear, using conventional driving tests. We realize, of course, that this kind of highly specialized test equipment is not available to the dealership technician. In fact, the only other ride simulator like this is at the Milford Proving Grounds, with a third under construction at the Orion, Michigan plant, home of the Riviera. What we can do in this program, however, is bring you the information the people at the plant have learned from these sophisticated tests. Our goal is to help you save some diagnostic time by pointing out the principal areas where Buick City technicians have found noise conditions on Park Avenue and LeSabre models. And of course, we'll show you how they repair them. So, let's begin with the Park Avenue Instrument Panel, or IP. If you run across this symptom, check for unequal side-to-side gaps between the IP and the door pad trim. The itch is most likely to occur if the gaps are unequal. If the IP contacts the door pad, remove the switch plate on the door armrest and loosen the forwardmost armrest screw. Push firmly on the door pad to achieve the maximum clearance allowed by the slotted adjustment and retighten the screw. This minor adjustment should provide approximately 2 to 3 millimeters of additional clearance. Another condition associated with the IP is a pop or ticking sound that seems to come from the area where the upper instrument panel meets the windshield. This popping is actually produced by the glass stops that are used to hold the windshield in position during assembly. Although the stops are on the exterior of the windshield, the noise appears to originate at the IP. Once the windshield urethane bedding has set, these stops are no longer necessary. So, to eliminate the condition, you should remove them. Remove the cowl screen for better access. Then, use a pair of needle nose pliers to grasp the glass stops and pull them out. A misinstalled IP trim cover will typically be identifiable by a warped or uneven appearance. For this reason, this condition is almost always spotted and repaired before a car leaves the assembly plant. However, it is possible that the trim panel could have been removed during a previous service visit, or the screws may have come loose due to rough driving conditions. If the trim is loose, a buzzing or chirping sound may be heard from the IP. Loosen the support screws on either side of the IP and remove the trim cover. Then, reinstall it carefully to achieve a snug fit. A squeak sometimes heard at the lower edge of the knee bolster may be the result of the foam padding on the bolster rubbing against the IP carrier. This condition can be remedied by applying a piece of foam tape to the IP carrier where it contacts the bolster. Occasionally, the positioning of the hush panel will allow it to rub against the IP stud and produce a rasping sound. With the hush panel supporting screws loosened, push the panel as far forward as the adjustments will allow, and ensure the push-on nut at the firewall is secure. Then, tighten all screws snugly. The IP will rattle if the center support bolts are loose. In extreme cases, the entire IP may bounce up and down noticeably. To repair this condition, pull down the glove box. Then tighten the support bolts located behind the left side of the opening. A rattle at the glove compartment door can be the result of the door tapping against the black rubber latch. In some cases, the glove box door may be slightly outboard relative to the knee bolster. Remove the ashtray to access the latch on the left side of the glove compartment. Then loosen the adjustment screws and push the latch further toward the front of the car. Positioning the latch more forward will pull the glove box door tighter against the stabilizer bumper and flush with the IP bolster. Another possible cause of a rattle coming from the area of the glove box is a loose airbag harness clip. Just pull down the glove box and ensure that the clip is installed on the center support bracket to the left of the opening. In the same general location, a buzz condition has also been observed on some vehicles at the HVAC control head. The buzz occurs where there is a slight looseness between the locator pin at the rear of the HVAC control head and the IP. To eliminate the buzz, wrap a piece of felt tape or similar material around the locator pin to provide a snug fit, and replace the control head. A rattle at either of the front doors may be due to trim panel fasteners that are not fully seated.